Bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
The new economic stimulus plan has lots of provisions, but what's in it for your business? Here with details on how you can cash in is Jim Cassel, Vice Chairman and Co-Head of Investment Banking at Ladenburg Thalmann and Company. And thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much.
I think a lot of people feel that the stimulus package is good for governments and for states. But individuals can get a piece of that pie too, right?
There are provisions in the stimulus. Some can be trickled down when they say it's good for governments. The governments have to spend that money, and that money will be used to hire companies. Those companies will hire people, and that will be part of the stimulus.
So how can businesses get involved?
Depending on the industry they're in, if they're in construction, they can look for contracts with governments because there are programs that will help at the airport, as an example, locally, road construction, things of that nature. There are other programs with people who've got mortgages now, and to help people with mortgages, the government's trying to come up with the right plan so people can keep their homes and not lose their homes. There's educational money out there. There's money even for charities in it, to keep at least one person at certain charities. So it's a very broad and wide plan.
How do you know where you should be exerting some effort to try to have some influence to get a contract?
Individuals or business owners have to look at there are plenty of government websites. There are websites set up by the federal government. There are websites set up by the state government. There are websites set up even by Dade County. And you can Google or go through the appropriate method, get to those websites, and they try to lay it out as simple as possible.
Is there something there for everybody?
Well, there's something there for many people. There's certain people who won't get things. It's sad, the person who went out and applied for a mortgage and is paying that mortgage and may not qualify because they're not in trouble, so they're not going to get as much as others. But it still helps all of us because the economy the way it is, with unemployment continuing to rise, and that will continue for a period of time, it's important that we help people in the country. What's
the most efficient method to go in there to figure out if there's some relief coming to a company that you have a niche in?
It's hard to say. There's probably no simple method. Certain public companies announce when they're able to access that capital. Other times you read it in the press. Other times you have to just do a lot of digging and searching and talk to people at the companies. You
do some investment banking. Does any part of the stimulus package concern you?
Well, obviously, investment bankers have taken somewhat of a hit. Some of this has been blamed on the investment banking community and what they've done. I don't think that's right. I think the investment bankers, along with other commercial bankers, the government, everybody's at fault if one wants to blame someone. No one forced the consumer to take out a mortgage that they couldn't afford to pay back or to buy a house they couldn't afford. So there's plenty of blame, but I don't think the issue today is blame. I think the issue today is what kind of solutions can be put in place. And the government at every level is working very hard, and not only in the United States, but frankly in other countries around the world, whether it be China or Europe. They're working very hard to be able to get the stimulus going, and it's not an overnight plan. It's going to take a lot of the money that's been allocated is over a 2- and 3-year period, so it won't happen overnight. And there are methods and time frames that we'll have to be patient for.
So you think this will jumpstart the economy, but people have to take action?
People have to take action. People have to be accountable. People do have to take action. The government's just not going to bring a pile of money and drop it on their doorstep, nor should they. And the government has to be prudent. They're spending a lot of money. They have to be careful where we spend it, not to waste it. We don't want a situation where we wasted billions of dollars reconstructing Iraq as an example. We don't want to do the same thing here.
Any constraints that people should watch out for, like will minority businesses be favored?
There will be certain minority benefits, but no more than in the past. And they're not really being favored, they're being helped.
Mm-hmm. And you think that that's something that people need to read the fine print. They need to find out exactly where the advantage is up and what their strengths are.
Yeah, some of these things are really being allocated through existing programs. So what happens is under an existing program where there might be some minority set aside, they will be able to get money. So it's different for every business today.
And what industries you think will benefit the most?
Well, there's certain healthcare is going to benefit in terms of software and other things, but there are many other industries. The housing industry at some point will be helped.
Okay. This hour's newsmaker, Jim Cassel, with ways your business can get a break with the economic stimulus plan. I'm Spiro Canton. Thanks for joining us.
The preceding has been a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. And now, back to CNN Headline News.